Alright, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, dude, I want to go over who I perceive to be the top 10 fakest personalities in the UFC, okay? I have set myself two very simple ground rules. They have to be within inside the top 15 of their respected weight class, and also, in order to make this a little more difficult, I will not be including any Dagestani fighters whatsoever. Not to mention, dude, their fan base is a little too sensitive for this kind of thing anyways. If you see your favorite fighter on this list, chill out, my guy. It's not that deep. Let me know why you disagree down in the comments below. Also, if you feel that I've left somebody out or my placement is off, also let me know down in the comments below. Now, we will be starting right away with number 10 on my list, who is Ian Garry. Now, Ian Garry I put at the 10 spot, right? Because I do feel like he actually just is the way he is. I don't know that he's trying to be this cringe, okay? However, I do think that he significantly plays up some aspects for the camera. Obviously, every quote that is like clipped of him is borrowed entirely from Conor McGregor. He basically just stole Conor McGregor's lines.
We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
You'll do fucking nothing. You'll sit there, you'll shut up, and you'll do what you're told.
Also, he tries to do the Billy strut. He ends up just looking like an inflatable arm flailing two-man with an extra chromosome, okay? Also, you know, he's kind of trying to be a Brazilian now, which is also a little odd, maybe going down that Israel Adesanya route. But I think with the whole wife stuff and what have you, I think that is genuinely him, and he is genuinely okay with it. Couldn't be me, dude, but either way. Moving to number 9 on my list, dude. This is the Elizabeth Warren of the UFC. Okay, this is Kai Kara-France. The fake Maori shit. My guy, you're 5'3", okay? No shade to the short kangs, but you're 5'3". You're white as fuck, dude, okay? And you were the only dude from New Zealand that really plays into that shit, right? We don't really see Carlos Ulberg doing the haka a whole lot. We don't see those big giant guys that are very clearly like Maori doing this stuff, whereas we got a little white guy doing it on a regular basis. And, you know, it says on his Wikipedia page that he is partially that. I do believe that Kai Kara-France has about as much Maori in him as Elizabeth Warren has Native American. Okay, so that is why Kai Kara-France, has made this list. Number 8 on my list, Sean O'Malley. Okay, now I put Sean O'Malley near the top of this list because I don't necessarily think Sean O'Malley has a fake personality. I think he lacks a personality, and I think because of that, he makes up for it. Or at the very least tries to, with the weird face tattoos and kind of doing like Gen Z-ish type shit on social media, right? We've got the horrible scribbles on his forehead, and I understand that they may have sentimental value to him because it's the day that he became champ or what have you. But all of the tattoos that are the most visible, the tattoos you cannot hide, look like they are done the shittiest. They look like he had a 3-year-old draw some scribbles on his face. He then went to the tattoo shop and had them put it there permanently. Also, not to mention the 6'9" tattoo. Right, he's hanging out with a snitch and what have you. So I do believe that if Sean O'Malley was not going down the career path he was, I don't think he would have these face tattoos. He might have some of the other tattoos, although some of the placement of his tattoos are clearly also copied from Conor McGregor, but that's besides the point, dude. As I said, not really a fake personality, just kind of lacks one and makes up for it with his aesthetic. Of course, the Christmas tree outfit, I don't understand, dude. The guy looks like a hippie that died from AIDS in like the 80s. When he dresses up for press conferences. I don't understand how you could look in the mirror looking like a Christmas tree and be like, this looks dope. Do you know what I mean? But either way, dude, Sean O'Malley, number 8 on my list. Moving up to number 7, okay? Tony Ferguson. Now, I understand this may irritate some people because Tony is, for the most part, a beloved figure in the MMA space. However, I do think that these last few years of Tony Ferguson not just have been sad for Tony Ferguson fans, but also it's not just his fight skills that are declining. I believe it's his personality as well, or the fact that he's trying to ramp it up. I think that he is now fully aware of the memes, and I think that he tries to play into these memes as much as he possibly can because it gets him attention, right? And I'm reminded of a time he asked a journalist, like, the journalist had asked him a question. Tony Ferguson kind of answered it, and then hit him back with the same question. When the journalist proceeded to answer, because it sounded as though there was a question mark at the end of that sentence, Tony hit him with the, hold on, I'm talking, brother.
Keeps you going and doing all this stuff and reinventing yourself and putting yourself through these really hard, grueling workouts. What gets you up in the morning?
My breakfast. mean, what gets me up in the morning, what gets you up in the morning for every person.
Like, what keeps you motivated to fight?
Hold on, brother, I'm talking.
And to me, it was just super forced and cringed. And while I do understand that he is responsible for the memes, since he is the one that gave them to us, right? I feel as though he's kind of ruined them, overplaying them, and just making them feel forced and cringe. Not to mention, dude, the guy likes to moral grandstand over somebody like Conor McGregor in regards to him taking HGH to heal his leg and all this shit. Meanwhile, bro almost killed some people with a brutal DUI in which he flipped his truck. So I don't know how he has any, room to be taking the moral high ground here over other fighters. But either way, dude, that's why Tony Ferguson's on my list. I do apologize, Tony fans, okay? Moving up the card. 2. Chill out, okay? First of all, I'm not a liberal. You can see the flag. Colby Covington, okay? Chill out, you guys, all right? I understand that Colby Covington kind of plays it up as a character. I also understand that he has now said on multiple occasions, like, no, these are my actual beliefs. I just ramp it up, right? My problem is, and the reason that I think Colby Covington is more of a fake personality, not just the character that he plays, but actually the political nature of his character, is because I believe he has almost zero political knowledge whatsoever. And I feel like you can tell this very clearly whenever he's talking to a more political pundit, whenever he's talking to a person like Tim Pool, Patrick Bet-David, Candace Owens, whoever it may be. I feel like his lack of political knowledge really shines, and I feel as though he's kind of accumulated like a collection of a few talking points that he'll rattle off while stumbling through it, right? And that's about it, dude. When Colby Covington asked Jorge Masvidal if he knew how a bill was passed into law, I 100% believe that was a bluff. Okay, I think that was a bluff. I think that Colby doesn't know how a bill gets passed into a law, and I think that he was hoping Jorge might have actually given him an answer so he could extend his political knowledge a little bit. Also, dude, like when he does talk about laws and shit like that, I'm reminded of a time where he told Tim Pool that UFC fighters, once you become a professional fighter, are supposed to go to the police and get your hands registered as lethal weapons.
Weren't you saying something earlier about your hands being deadly weapons? Like, Is that like a law or something?
Yeah, so that's a law. When you become a professional fighter, you have to register your hands with the police.
No way.
Yeah. So
you had to go to the police and tell them?
I mean, you're supposed to. I never ended up doing it because I knew I was never going to break a law. Like, I handle my business in the cage where we get paid a lot of money to fight people. I would never assault someone outside the cage. So, I would never have to deal with that. So.
And he says, you're supposed to, but I didn't do it because I knew I wouldn't be breaking any laws, okay? Absolutely ridiculous and a complete and total myth if you were not aware, okay? So that's why I think Colby Covington has a bit of a fake personality. I just think that if you are going to base your entire character, your entire persona over politics, you should probably know more than the fact that Donald Trump was the president of the United States of America. Okay? Anyways, dude, I'm not saying I disagree with any of the shit he says. That's it. Moving up the list to Kamaru Usman. Okay, now, homeboy doesn't even have a fake personality. The guy's got like 10, right? He'll be talking all gangster one time, then the next he'll be speaking perfectly normal and staring Joe Rogan dead in his eyes, telling him that he used to have to walk miles for water back in Nigeria when his family was relatively wealthy, okay? Looked him dead in the eye and said that, right? Then we'll get like the giddy, real laughy Usman when he's talking about him being knocked out and what have you, and then we'll get this one, the Kamaru Usman that tells you a story like this. And I took that fight on 11 days notice. I flew out to Abu Dhabi and I had to fight the big bad wolf that was trying to blow my house down and shit like that, dude. And it's like, okay, listen, bro, I'm going to be honest. I don't even know if Kamaru Usman intentionally does this or if his personality is just like it's just in a constant state of fluidity. Okay. I don't know if he can control it, if I'm being honest, but that is why Kamaru Usman is on this list. Now, moving up to number 4. Now, this one's a little bit rude and petty by me, I'll be honest, because I actually like Brian Ortega a little bit, and I think that he is now living his best life, okay? He's back together with the mother of his children. They seem to be a happy family, and I am happy for him, right? But I swear to God, man, go back and listen to the way Brian Ortega would talk on Tough, okay? When his season with Alexander Volkanovski. The guy acted like a complete, entirely, like a chowlow from the hood. He was talking all chowlow like nonstop, okay, and dressing cholo, low riders, the whole nines. Before that, he wasn't really so much. He definitely ramped it up for tough. And now the guy is like some spiritual Native American speaker that talks about fucking eagles.
Those who don't know that what the eagle does is the eagle lives for 70 years. At the 40-year mark, the eagle loses the sharpness of its beak, the feathers aren't as good, and its talons are weak. So it has a choice. The choice is to die, keep doing what you're doing, living the way you are, or isolate yourself way up in the mountains, smash your beak against a rock till it breaks, wait till it grows back, then pluck your talons out, and then pluck your feathers out, and then stay in isolation till everything grows back. And then when that process is done, then the eagle can live the next 30 years of its life. And that process in nature is called the rebirth for the eagle.
And listen, dude. Listen. The rebirth may have worked for Brian Ortega, okay? But if that guy is giving advice to an eagle, he is going to kill them. He's going to kill them. First of all, an eagle does not live until 70 years of age, okay? Bald eagle probably lives max 35, 40 years, maybe if that, which is around the time Brian Ortega said that they would go roll up to a rock, smash their beak on a rock, and rip off their talons and feathers and all that shit. But bro, they die. They would die. They would die. That's it, okay? That is a fake story. That is not what eagles do. And then I thought, oh, you know what? Brian Ortega's got some Mexican roots. Maybe he's talking about golden eagles, or maybe he's talking about something else. Golden eagles don't live that long either, dude. So Brian Ortega has switched personalities a few times. Now, I do think that it might be part of a natural growth process because, you know, he went from being a young cholo and then now he's like Native American, whatever. But my guy, don't give any advice to eagles, please. I like them. They're cool. I don't want them dying because of the dumb shit you say, okay? Brian Ortega? Anyways, dude. That's about it. Now we're going to move to number 3 on my list, which is Israel Adesanya. Okay, now there are a lot of angles you could attack Israel Adesanya's personality. Now, the one that I have chosen is the fact that he pretends like he grew up poor. Okay? Talking about how the children in the favela will understand his struggle. Okay? Which is absolutely fucking unhinged.
Send a message to your fans in Brazil.
I love my Brazilian fans. Even when I was out there, they love me. The favelas love me. They can relate to me. They understand what I've been through. But
the children in the favela could only hope and dream for a life like Israel Adesanya, a guy who grew up with servants. Do you know what I mean? A guy who had parents that were wealthy enough in Nigeria to immigrate to other countries, right? The kids in the favela wish they had your life. They probably couldn't even imagine a life like yours, actually, as a matter of fact. And I'm not talking about the one he has now. I'm talking about the one he had as a child, right? And it was especially strange because, bro, you're fighting a guy that did come from the favelas, and you're trying to act like those kids will relate to you. Very odd. Also, of course, dude, we know that this guy is, you know, there's people out there who are confused about their biology. Do you know what I mean? Israel Adesanya is confused about his nationality. We know this, okay? We know this. He's either Nigerian, New Zealand, or Chinese, depending on which day you ask him. Do you know what I mean? So that's why Israel Adesanya made this list. And I don't even think that's a hot take, my guy. This guy is, you know, dude, to boot, you could go with the like radical outfit and personality changes, not even talking about the poor stuff or the nationality stuff, but you'll have him dropping N-bombs like he grew up as an African American, okay? Even though he grew up as a wealthy Nigerian, right? That word is not a thing over there. Dropping N-bombs like crazy in a white dude's face because he's upset that a white guy can be African. And, you know, or then he'll be painted nails, pink hair, and this shit. Then it's really odd. And I can understand wanting to switch up the outfit once in a while, change the style, and what have you. I can also understand somebody being in a bad mood versus a good mood or whatever, but his personality completely and totally switches based on what outfit he's wearing. And it's just odd, okay? It's just odd. Anyways, dude, moving up to number 3 on my list. I'm starting to think that some of these could have been swapped in order, but it doesn't matter, dude. Tell me your order down in the comments down below. Number 2, Bobby Green, bro. I refer to Bobby Green as B-Rad from Malibu's Most Wanted. I just do, dude. He is so extra with the gangster shit. Okay, listen, dude, I understand you had a really rough childhood. Dude was in foster care at the age of 5 years old. I don't know, you know, they say he got adopted now by his coach, but I don't think that happened as he was a child. I think he probably grew up in the system, and I understand that that's a rough way to grow up, right? But if you go listen to interviews, like post-fight interviews with Joe Rogan in the cage, media day interviews, or what have you, from a few years ago, dude, It's almost unrecognizable. I swear to God, dude, you need a PhD in ebonics to understand what Bobby Green is saying, okay? And chill out at that joke. It's fine, dude. But either way, like, all of a sudden, dude goes from, like, normal to dressing wild, wearing, bro's gonna get a bulge disc from the amount of gold he wears on his neck, okay? Also, wants to change his name to King, and then is flashing, like, 50K in cash. Do you know what I mean, my guy? What? And then he shows up at a press conference wearing a bulletproof vest. Like he's going to be shot. It's odd shit, dude. He ramped up the gangsters way up. And it just comes off as forced to me at the very least. Okay, so that's why Bobby Green is on my list. B-Rad Bobby Green at number 2. Moving to number 1 on my list, Jon, I want to bone you Jones. Okay, 1,000,000% fake Christian, right? The good boy act is just too much for me, man. Okay, I know people have said this before. It's not some like groundbreaking revelation, but I swear to God, dude, if Jon Jones would just embrace the fact that he's a dirtbag, I think he would have more fans. I think people would be fine with Jon Jones. Like we saw this kind of with Greg Hardy and people like this, where they have definitely done some bad things in their life, right? And then people don't like them because of it, and they try to like change the narrative or, you know, make it seem as though they didn't do these things. With Jon Jones, I'm thinking of, you know, I'm thinking of, you saw it changing the rules in 2023 for him specifically upon his return regarding picograms leading up to the Cyril Gahn fight, right? And then Jon Jones going to Twitter and being like, "Oh, I'm innocent. See, I didn't do it." It's like, no, my guy, the rules were, you broke the rules for like 8 years. Right? They've changed them now. That's fine. You still broke the rules all those times. You don't get to retroactively make yourself innocent, my guy. That's not how it works. But he's so insecure in his degeneracy that he feels the need to do this. And as I said, dude, if he were to just embrace the fact that he's a dirtbag, okay, degenerate, I think he would be more liked. And it just wouldn't come across so fake. Also, there was a time where Jon Jones tried to be Muslim.
Fantastic stuff. Well, I converted. I'm now Muslim.
Wow. I'm back.
What's up, man? Thank you so much. How are you, Joe Rogan?
I'm good, sir. How you doing?
Oh, man. Alhamdulillah.
And he could barely even say fucking alhamdulillah. It was like alhamdulillah. Like, you know what I mean? And then he sounded as though he was like gonna commit to it, but then kind of backed off of it. And he was like, I don't know if I should say it. It came off as very, very odd, right? But seriously, Jon, come by it honestly. You're a degenerate dirtbag. You like to do cocaine. You like to do steroids. You beat up women, and you possibly fuck guys.
Jesus Christ!
Anyways, dude, this is my list for the top 10 fake personalities with inside the UFC. Like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I will see you with the next video. Bye-bye.